I'm tired of being an overworked and severely underpaid operator in my business. I knew I was meant to lead differently, and my current setup just was not it. I just realized that I don't even have my microphone. I did this whole video and my microphone is not connected. And I'm sorry about the sound if the sound isn't good. It's just one of those days, y'all. I'm sorry. Hey, CEO fam. Welcome to the CEO Desk with Brianna Marie. I'm coming at you today, of course, from my actual CEO desk. But anyway, I want to talk about something that doesn't get enough credit in the business world. I'm talking about those unexpected shifts, the ones you did not plan for, but they actually changed everything in your business. So let's talk about it. We've been conditioned to believe that major business breakthroughs come after months of strategic planning, perfect market conditions, and having all our ducks in a row. All that corporate rhetoric, but that's not always the case. Some of my biggest wins came during seasons when I was barely holding it together. I'm talking about landing major partnerships, restructuring my entire business model, getting the idea to create one of my best revenue streams, or finding the perfect partner for a collab that wasn't even on my radar. Many of these breakthroughs weren't planned. They weren't on my vision board. They just happened. And sometimes the breakthrough was sneaky. Like, I didn't even realize it was a breakthrough until some time had passed and I wasn't so deep in my emotions. I'm talking about sneaky breakthroughs that feel more like a breakdown in the moment. Like a boundary I was forced to set, or a failure that actually turned out to be redirection, or a season where I had to slow down even though I wanted so badly to speed up. It all made sense after a while. And here's something I've learned as I step more fully into my CEO identity. Sometimes the shift isn't external, it's internal first. Before the revenue jump, or the visibility, or the recognition, the shift is often how you see yourself, what you tolerate, what you stop over-explaining, what you finally give yourself permission to want and go after. CEO energy doesn't mean becoming cold or ruthless. It means becoming intentional. And I didn't wake up one day and say, okay, today I'm a CEO. It was more like, I'm tired of being an overworked and severely underpaid operator in my business. I knew I was meant to lead differently, and my current setup just was not it. And I was miserable because I was so out of alignment with my true self. And that realization alone changed how I showed up in rooms and negotiations, in my content, and even in home. Quick story time about a time when a major shift hit me when I least expected it. This is during a time where I was in what I can only describe as a messy middle phase, where the revenue was inconsistent, I was questioning my entire business strategy, and honestly, I was like this close to just going back to the safety of what I knew before. And I had spent months trying to plan my way out of it. More strategy sessions, more business books, more let me just figure this out first type of energy. Then one random Monday, and I remember it was a Monday because that was a karate day for the kids, and I was mentally going through my list of what I can do next, how can I fix things, and I had a conversation with another mom in my community, and she asked me a simple question about something I did naturally in my business, something I didn't even think was special, and in explaining it to her, I suddenly saw my entire business differently. That casual, unplanned conversation became the framework for a complete pivot that 3x'd my revenue in 6 freaking months, you guys. But here's the thing, I could have easily missed it. I almost did, because I was so focused on finding the answers somewhere out there that I wasn't paying attention to what was unfolding right in front of me. The shift was already happening. I just needed to recognize it. And if you're watching this right now, feeling stuck or frustrated because things aren't moving fast enough, just know that your shift might already be happening too. Now, before we go further, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below saying, my breakthrough has arrived. Claim it now. And I just want to say, I have learned that there are certain signs that tend to appear when a major breakthrough is on the way. And it's good for us to be aware of this. So here are the 3 signs. Sign number 1, you're experiencing productive discomfort. Not burnout, that's something different, but that feeling where you're uncomfortable, yet somehow energized by the discomfort, where you're questioning everything, but it feels generative, not destructive. that tension is usually growth knocking. And for me, it showed up as restlessness. I finish a work session and feel like something is just not clicking, but I could not articulate what that discomfort was. And it was actually my intuition trying to redirect me towards something better. Now, sign number 2, the random keeps showing up. Pay attention to patterns in seemingly unrelated conversations, questions people keep asking you, or problems you keep noticing. In my case, 3 different people in 1 week asked me about the same aspect of my business. That was the universe basically holding up a neon sign saying, this, focus on this. But I had to be present enough to notice the pattern. Sign number 3, your old strategies suddenly feel exhausting. Not in a I'm tired and need a break kind of way, but in a this just doesn't fit kind of way. Like you've outgrown clothes that technically still fit, but don't feel like you anymore. That's evolution, and it's usually happening right before a major shift. If you're experiencing any of these, you're probably in that transition phase, and transition can look pretty messy sometimes. Now, I'm not saying we should abandon planning altogether and just wing it, hoping for miracles. Strategic planning absolutely has its place, but here's what I've learned about positioning myself to recognize and receive unexpected shifts. First, build margin into your life and business. And I know as moms, margin feels like a luxury we cannot afford. But here's what I mean. You need some white space to actually notice what's emerging. If you're operating at 110% capacity every single day, you will miss the signals. And for me, that looks like blocking off CEO thinking time in my calendar. No agenda, just time to reflect and just think. Just stare out the window if I must. But some of my best insights have come from those unstructured moments. Second, stay in conversation with your community. My biggest breakthroughs have come from conversations. Not the courses, not the extra content, but real dialogue with other people in the same arena. And this is exactly why I built the Rising Founders Network. It is a private ecosystem where mom CEOs connect, share, and grow together. And every month there is a new CEO challenge. You get access to our resource vault, weekly insider newsletter with legit business opportunities, and most importantly, you're in a community with women who get it, that understand. So the link is in the description. But moving on. Third, document everything. I keep a running note on my phone called breadcrumbs. Anytime something feels significant, a random idea, a pattern I'm noticing, feedback I receive, I drop it in there. Later, when I review it, the dots start connecting in ways I never could have planned. You don't need a fancy system. You just need to pay attention and capture what resonates. All right, so here is your challenge for this week. I want you to create your own breadcrumbs document. For the next 7 days, jot down moments of productive discomfort, questions people keep asking you, things that energize you unexpectedly, old strategies that suddenly feel exhausting, and at the end of the week, review your notes. Look for patterns. Ask yourself what is trying to emerge here, and share one observation in the comments below. Sometimes articulating what we're noticing helps us see it more clearly. And it might be exactly what someone else needs to see as well. And look, I get it. We want certainty. We want to know that if we do X, Y, and Z, we'll get the result. But the most powerful shifts often happen in the margins, in the unplanned moments, in the messy middle of doing our best and showing up anyway. Your breakthrough isn't waiting for you to have it all figured out. It's waiting for you to be present enough to recognize it when it shows up. And it will show up, probably when you least expect it. Probably when you're doing something completely ordinary. So I'm gonna hop off here because one, I just realized that I don't even have my microphone. I did this whole video and my microphone is not connected. And two, while I'm trying to film this, the camera keeps quitting on me for some reason. So let's wrap up. But before you go, subscribe to the 1 Million CEOs newsletter. Every week I'm sharing insights, opportunities, and the real behind the scenes of building this empire. And remember, you are exactly where you need to be. Notice what's next. And until next time.